Well, howdy, Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. A definite thumbs up on that. It is continuing to rain. I was lucky last night. It had rained during the day, but when I went walkies, it was dry. I mean, I had an umbrella with me for part of it, I think. I can't really remember. Or was that the other day? My memory is such that even when I take my ADHD meds, I am not fully medicated enough that I can really remember everything all the time. So joy. And also last night, I meant to take my Ritalin at 7 o'clock and forgot. So, yay. Oh, I remember what happened yesterday, too. I also went walkies way early. And that's another thing that got me confused. I went walkie, started at like 4:30 and was back before like 6. And so that I had the rest of the night just in here, and I was falling asleep, and it was rough, and I forgot to take my meds at 7. So I took them at 9:30, and again, I slept great. So I'm gonna have to talk to my med manager, maybe get a long-lasting Ritalin for nighttime so I can sleep, and then take the short term for the daytime. So definitely thumbs up on that. And of course, to front load the video, if you could interact with the YouTube algorithms and give me a thumbs up at any point if you like what you see in here, that would be cool. If you could subscribe to the channel, that too would be awesome. You know, definitely a thumbs up on that. And of course, I want to thank each and every one of my Patreon.com patrons. These people help keep me alive. 99% of my disability goes to paying my rent, and these people here literally help keep me alive. Food in my belly, pain medication to keep me going, and to help keep my pets alive too. If you would like to become a Patreon.com patron of mine, that would be very cool. There are links in the video description. That would be very cool. Now that the front loading is over, thumbs up. But yeah, it was a weird day yesterday. So way too early and then back early, and so I don't know when I like to do walkies. I like walkies when it's dark, but I also like walkies when it's light. And now with especially with the change in the seasons, and then tonight is the whole time change in the US, so yay. I mean, I sort of want to go walkies earlier because I want to try recording, but that means I really have to go in the middle of the day. So, we'll see what happens. Yay! Life is life, though. So yeah, did video watching, did a little bit of game playing, did as much thinking as I could on various things, but past that, just barely survived. When I say barely survived, I mean it wasn't tough. I mean I was just mainly living and not doing anything really wonderful. I mean, on the other hand, I did do some reaction recordings, and I'm going to talk about this one because I tweeted about it too. But I did a reaction to, I guess it's one person or a group, I'm not sure, UBOA, and the song was Laid Down and Rot. And when I was listening to it, it was kind of clicking, but I was not sure because it sounded like there was a 3D soundscape story going on with all this other stuff happening. But after a time, I realized it was not for intellectualizing. This was something to definitely just feel. And once I realized that and started getting into it, this song is intensely just experimental. If you don't like this stuff, it will sound like noise. And I loved it. Oh my God, it was beautiful. It was absolutely incredible. Also, it sounds like, I cannot remember the name of what it is, but I've talked about it before, and there's a generator that I've used, and I've used it in my own videos. There is a tone that you can generate where it sounds infinitely rising or infinitely falling. It actually doesn't do that. It is just these tones that are playing, but it sounds like it's always rising, always going upward forever. It can cause feelings of anxiety and such in some people. And I was listening to this song and going, oh my gosh, I think that's playing in the background. It was part of the ambience. Being able to recognize something like that and going, oh. So it was a wonderful song, wonderful experience being able to experience that. And if you check out UBOA, I have a feeling based on this one song, if it's not in your lane, you are not gonna like it. But if it is anywhere close, you will love it. I mean, again, if you're not into it, it will likely just sound like noise. Just incoherent noise. But it's beautiful. Thumbs up on that. Now, of course, I do want to do some quick talk because there's some stuff where I want to talk about the whole inside-outside thing going on here. One really quick thing is I've kind of come to the realization based on just my own thinking about these things and various comments. I bring up little situations when I'm introducing characters, when I'm introducing situations, where I'm introducing stuff about inside and outside and all these. And I was like, because I was thinking about how I'd introduced the sheriff and the deputy of the town of Tall Ned, and it's like, oh, he has prophetic dreams, and one of the things just to introduce why the deputy likes being there is a story about the prophetic dreams of how this creature, the Catanope, was coming in, and the prophetic dreams got them to save the town. And I was like, that should be more than just a memory. That's a real short story to write out. That's a full thing. So who knows, maybe I'll be writing up the story of the sheriff and the deputy and how they, through the prophetic dreams, they get all the stuff together, because the sheriff isn't sure this was going to work. They just had dreams about the Catanope coming in, and that's bad, and how it can't be killed. Everything says that can't work, but they have prophetic dreams about a golden bullet, and so they make a golden bullet, and the sheriff, they bring the gun, the bullet, to where they've got the dreams about where it's going to show up, and he doesn't know if it's going to happen. They could all be killed because it doesn't work. They could all be killed because it comes up behind them. They could all be killed for so many reasons. There are so many ways it could have gone wrong. They had no idea if it was going to work, but they had to try. And it worked. So I was like, boy, that actually could be a cool story. And the whole story I told yesterday or the day before, I can't even remember my time sense, even medicated on ADHD for ADHD. My time sense is awful. When I was talking about the character of Speleodoncus Ray and his introduction, it's like, that's a full damn story on its own that could go into a horror thing. I need to write up some of these just introductory things that I think of, so thumbs up on that. And then hopefully I'll actually get them, written and then read them out, so that would be cool. Definitely a thumbs up on that. Now, there is some stuff that I have thought about that I wanted to talk about for a time. I've mentioned that there is an internet on the inside, but it's not an internet. It was made independent of what's out here, and they're mildly compatible, different protocols. There's translation software, but the tech and stuff from the inside and the internet there is from the tech of the Crimson Kingdom, because early on the King in Crimson had figured out that there are things that are really good to go for. Because when you're trying to make up a kingdom and it's expanding, you need to have people to delegate. And if you got people to delegate out to and they're out there, there's going to be times when they're not there. And if they're not there, they have to send messages. And there's only so much info you can put in a message. And so through just pushing on things, they actually developed not digital, but analog tape recording technology before things like radio. And so they were able to push, and it's a genderless, sexless being compared to humans, loved being able to having the person out there talk a full thing instead of doing just cribbed quick notes. That helped. And then of course, from horse to vehicle to developing radio to telephone to television, pushing hard. And these were all done independently, of course, because it's not the United States on the inside, but they pushed hard on this. Because being able to talk to one of your representatives out there on a phone-like device saves so much time. They don't have to travel from out there to come back in here to talk to you. You just pick up the phone. And then being able to add video to that through video talk. Once computer-like stuff became available, through the push of technology and research, because of the King in Crimson in the Crimson Kingdom, they developed computers and all this sort of stuff real early. Because again, the Crimson King just leaned into this hard, because being able to just instantly call up a delegate that's out on the field and have a full video talk with them instantly. And the tech there is, because of the push, is like you've got basically 8K wireless and it's dynamically scaling, so whatever your device can handle, it'll push it to its max, and you've just got that 8K full sound stuff going on just to be able to do video talking. And this is technology that's making it out into the general public through like just cell phones and cameras and all that. Big push on tech. The King in Crimson in the Crimson Kingdom loves this stuff hard. And of course, the King in Crimson also knows that this is going to eventually push their ability to understand past their ability to understand. As a powerful being, instead of being a power, they have like a capped limit on what they can be. It's like they're a bear. You know, they can be as good a bear as possible, but they can't be more than a bear. Eventually, stuff is going to get past what they're able to adapt to, and they know that, but they want the kingdom to last longer than just them. They're more than just a hedonistic, I am president for life and who cares what happens to the place after they're gone. No. The King in Crimson wants the kingdom to last as long as possible. It is their beautiful, wonderful machine, and they are intensely proud of this. So there's a huge push on that tech, and that undernet, the internet on the inside, is used on the Razor's Edge. It's used all throughout the Crimson Kingdom. It's even pushed and used into the domain of the Pale Kingdom, the Pale Domain, and even the Association of Sovereign Free States uses the ThruNet. So it's a big thing, and there is a friendly tech war going on because the Pale King was caught completely by surprise. Their tech push is a long way behind. They're at about the level of Commodore 64 stuff there, and everybody's using the ThruNet. And of course, that's always a little bit of money and resources and such heading straight to the Crimson Kingdom. So thumbs up on that. But yeah, even out on the Razor's Edge and even a little bit on the outside, there is a small but appreciable market, very stable for tech and such from the inside. And even on the outside where we are, for the 10% of the people that have conscious sight, can see and interact with stuff from the inside, there is that import-export market. Now, of course, you're not going to be able to go into a place like Walmart and find stuff like that because, 80% of the population simply cannot see this stuff as what it is. And of those 20% that can, 10% can't see it or interact with it consciously, and only 10% can. It's small specialty shops. So when somebody wanders in that has no sight, they just see boring stuff, no real details, it's dull, so they just leave. But somebody who's got the sight, they come in and it's like, oh wow, there's tech from the inside. I can get myself the latest Sayaki phone. They have to put up towers, and that's been a hard one, because trying to put up towers that can send a signal in a very fluid geography, especially on the Razor's Edge, has been a big tech problem for the Crimson Kingdom. How do you put up a tower that's going to send out a signal over an area and have it be in range of other towers when there's more there than you can see and interact with at the time? If you set a tower here today and come back tomorrow, it may not be there. That's been a big problem for the King in Crimson, but it has been solved and they've been rolling it out, which is, they still can't offer anything like location services because it's also a flat landscape on the inside. There is no sky that goes around the globe. You can't put up satellites. And I've opened up 24 hours for the comments, and I'm going to go through and thank each of the people that has left me comments in the last 24 hours. I can thank each person because there's usually around 10 or so lately, which is better than 0, so thank you very, very much. And if I mispronounce a username, no disrespect is intended. I am an American English speaker, and even though I count in American Sign Language, I've got depression, fibromyalgia, ADHD. I have brain fog at the best of times, so thumbs up. My memory is actually still getting better, but there is one day I'm going to hit the last of that. But we have Larry from Space. Thank you so very, very much. And there is Ryan Mulqueen, who is mildly insulting, but not abusive. And so I just answered the comment as nicely as I could. And we have Ice Damon, thumbs up and thank you. I do not know how to pronounce your name, but it's Jodeci, and then Waikari, thumbs up and thank you. Kurai Abernathy, thumbs up and thank you very, very much. And hopefully I'll have a lot of actual stories to come up with soon. Zach Campbell, thumbs up and thank you very, very much. And we have Ben B, greatly appreciated. There is Thata, or That A, I'm not sure how you would pronounce that, but thank you very much. And Coco's, thumbs up, thank you very, very much. And that is it. 9 people left me comments in the last 24 hours. And even though it's a relatively small number, it's more than 0, and you get me out of my head and into the world dealing with real people, if only in text and for a short period of time, and that is appreciated. Thumbs up and thank you. And of course, I do not know what device you're watching this on, so I do not know where the video description is, but inside of that I have links to all my channels. If you could check that out, that would be cool. I also have links to things like my Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and if you could, become, once again, a patreon.com patron. That would be beautiful and awesome. I mean, literally, all but $100 of my disability goes to paying rent. These people literally help keep me alive and keep my pets alive. Thank you so very, very much, each and every one of you. And if you could become a patron, that would be awesome. But if you do not, I do also have a PayPal link, and I'm not above grubbing for any spare change you have. When you got next to nothing, anything helps, so thank you. And if you'd like to help without sending money, I do have an Amazon wishlist link with things like cat food and hamster bedding, such like that. So if you could check it out, thumbs up and thank you. And of course, if you could toss me a like, I do appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence, the definite thumbs up. And if you could hit the notification bell on the subscription button, that would be very cool. Thumbs up and thank you so very much. Each and every one of you, greatly appreciated. Yay! Well, it's a weekend, so I can't make any phone calls whether I want to or not. So I'm going to try and take it easy, do what I can, be as creative as possible, record if I can think of something to do, and if not, well, you know, that happens too. I'm not going to beat myself up about it. Yay! And hopefully your day will go well as well. Well as well. And of course, please seek creativity for its own sake. Keep your brain lubed up. It does help stave off dementia in your later days. Use it or lose it. And of course, be positive as you can. Not all the time, but as you can. I was a negative person for far too long, and it really only hurts those around you and yourself. And of course, seek balance in all things, moderation in all things. It may feel fun to bounce off the walls from extremes, but this is healthier on an even keel. Thumbs up for that. And of course, with the Covfefe bug raging around the world, please, if you do not have to go out amongst others, don't. And if you do, try to maintain your social distancing, wear a mask, wash your hands often, try not to touch your face. And of course, get vaxxed if you can. and get a booster if it is available to you. Definitely a thumbs up. We got to get through this, and if you're not taking care of yourself, bad things happen. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is a very good thing.